I'm good.
Thank you. All right, we'll move to item number 3, previous minute approval. The minutes were sent out last week. Are there any changes to the minutes? Seeing none, the minutes have been approved as distributed. We will now move to item number 4, reports. I don't really have a report, so we can move on to student body president Jorge. Go ahead, Jorge.
Hello. All right. So for my report, just in general discussion, we'll be talking about student conduct board. Luke reached to Chase and I with regards to the members not attending or not replying to the emails and therefore not being able to schedule a meeting. So we'll discuss this more about what to do, if to nominate new people or how to move forward with this. So yes, Chase and I had a meeting with President Kelleher this Sunday with regards to the town hall. Rich will be allowed to come just kind of as, I don't know, to like gauge things out as well with us. And she reached out to like further input with regards to the student demands. She wanted more information and on what her next steps should be moving forward. And yeah, we talked about pretty much it. Those were the two main things, town hall and the academic diversity. And yeah, I mean, we have shorter reports, I think, because there's some good stuff to discuss in general discussion, especially now that we're moving into yellow phase and how does the future of SGA Senate look this upcoming semester. So are there any questions?
All right, seeing none. I'm going to go back to my report. Brennan Len is here. He is a new class senator. So we are going to go ahead and swear him in now. Brennan, you can go ahead and turn on your mic or leave it off. It's up to you. Please raise your right hand if you're able and repeat after me. I do solemnly affirm.
I do solemnly affirm.
That I will faithfully execute.
That I will faithfully execute.
The office of sophomore class senator of the Simpson College SGA.
Please repeat that, Chase.
Okay. We'll cut it in half. The office of sophomore class senator.
The office of sophomore class senator.
Of the Simpson College SGA.
Of the Simpson College SGA.
And will do to the best of my ability.
And will do to the best of my ability.
Preserve and uphold.
Preserve and uphold.
The Constitution and bylaws.
The Constitution and bylaws.
Of the SGA.
Of the SGA.
And represent the students of Simpson College.
And represent the students of Simpson College.
All right, congratulations, Brennan.
Great to be here.
All right, so we will now move on to senior class president, Elliot Meyer. Go ahead, Elliot.
We have budget requests and new business that I'm putting in right now. Sorry if you didn't see those on the original agenda. I just got put onto Teams. In addition to that, we also in FAC this afternoon, which was our first FAC. So I thank all those FAC members that joined us today. We talked a little bit about capital improvement projects. For all those that are new, capital improvement projects are the initiatives that the FAC members all take on. And they're just like their projects for the entire year. That we try to get done. So we just discussed a little bit about those. And if those members would like to talk about them tonight, you definitely can. I think that I'm going to probably also take on something and I can have a little update for you all by next week. I haven't quite chosen that project yet. So if any of you guys would like to take it away. Looks like not. That's totally fine. Drake, would you like to talk?
Yeah. So I am doing
set up. I was like,
oh my God, my phone's going off right now. I am doing the greenhouse project. And so I'm currently trying to develop or work with someone on a program to create a sign-up sheet that is secure enough that like the people who run the greenhouse in the science department know who's going in and out of the greenhouse, obviously because they have scientific projects like in there at the time, and so we want to make sure those labs stay safe. And so, yes, not too much progress, but we're working on it.
Sorry, was Drake the only one?
I think Piscazi and then Katie also had them. I'm not sure if Katie is here though.
Okay, Piscazi, go ahead.
So Dylan, you're muted.
So currently my capital improvement project was making a like suit rental for the campus. But the person I was supposed to be working with, Bobby Sullivan, is no longer here, and they have not hired anyone to take her position. So until they do that, I can't really do much for my project, because the whole point was that like I start it and I give it to career development so they can like continue it after I graduate. But if there is no one who can make decisions in career development, then there isn't a ton of process or like progress I can make on that front. But I decided that I'm going to do all of the things I can do and then just wait until. Ooh, thank you. I didn't know that, but I'm glad I know, Rich, now that there is someone who is stepping into that role that I can now contact. Fantastic. Thank you. That's all from me.
Okay, I think that is it. Katie is not here. So we will move on to junior class president Tatum. Did Tatum assign anyone to go over her agenda? I knew she was going to be absent from the meeting. If not, I can just read it off. Or actually, Jorge, you can go ahead and read it if you'd like.
So for Tatum's report, she states SOC will be meeting next week, as we do not have a full committee at the moment. And I will be part of the research committee in search of VP of diversity. And reach out if you have any questions or concerns. I am also on that committee, so we will be working together. So yeah, you can reach out to both of us with questions. And the process, it's moving forward. I believe they're in the finalization of the actual application to go out. That way, like, they won't know who they want to bring in. And yes, I can't answer any questions because I'm not Tatum. So.
All right, we will move on to sophomore class president Frank. Frank, do you have anything to say?
All I have to say is my committee and I are like figuring out a new time slot to meet together. Other than that, I mean, I'm gonna contact with you, of course, Chase, who held this position before, and figure out some things that was on the plan or on the agenda that you were thinking of, and that's about it.
Awesome, thanks, Frank. Any questions for Frank? See none. We'll move on to first year class president, Will Keck. Go ahead, Will.
Yeah, so like Jorge said, SOC is going to start meeting next week once we find a time and once we get all the members in there. So that'll be coming up. But now we're in yellow phase, so hopefully more clubs will be holding activities and meetings. So we have that to look forward to. Also, you guys might have seen they started doing buffet style in Pfeiffer today. So that's super, super exciting. But when I was in there, I also noticed that there wasn't enough seating because it's still one person per table. So people were just kind of sitting together when they weren't in their family units, and some people were just taking the plates to their dorm rooms and stuff. So I already talked to Luke about it, and he was gonna, he forwarded it onto the Pfeiffer manager over there, and they're gonna do some more seating in like Great Hall upstairs that people can sit in, and then some more seating options, as well as they're going to put out some like disposable containers so that we can just fill up our plate and then leave rather than having to use the actual plates and stay there. So that'll be coming up, but that's my report.
Any questions for Will? Wyatt, go ahead.
I just wanted, it isn't a question, but I just wanted to clear up the confusion. In the email, it's not one person per dining anymore. It is now your family units or your house pods. Just to take that ease off your mind.
Will, did you have anything to say back?
Oh, I was just gonna say that the problem at Pfeiffer today was that there wasn't enough seats, so people were just sitting with people that weren't in their family units, or that they just random people that they saw or whatever. So that's what we're just trying to prevent by opening some more dining options in Great Hall and elsewhere. Yeah.
That was discussed in CMT too. When they came to that conclusion, maintenance would need a little bit of time to move all the chairs from their storage area back into Fife. So I know that's something they're working on too. All right. We will now move on to item number 5, old business. There's no old business, so we'll move on to item number 6. New business, there looks like there is budget request, so I will relay that to Elliot. Go ahead, Elliot.
Okay, so FAC met with 2 organizations, technically 1 organization, and then Rich. So the first one is ISO. I move to allocate $204.36 to ISO.
Second.
I think we go to discussion now. But I think, Chase, you have to tell me to go to discussion.
Yeah, sorry, Elliot, go ahead and go to discussion.
So basically, ISO is doing a candy bag thing with a bunch of different countries' foods in it. It sounds really cool. I think it sounds like an awesome program, and it's also something that we could do even though we're in COVID. And in addition to that, it's also only $200. So it was under the requested amount, or the amount requested that means that we can approve it in FAC. If you would like me to bring up the section, I can also bring that up in our FAC or our finance code. But we approved it in our committee meeting today, so there's no need for an actual vote on it. Suppose that probably means I don't need to present it. I don't really know. So that's the first one. Second one is 100 Days of Senior. I move to allocate $11,000 and $11,670 to 100 Days of Senior.
Second.
All right, the item has been motioned and seconded. Go ahead, Elliot, with discussion.
Okay, this is the annual list of programs that are hosted by the Student Activities Office, so Rich's office for seniors. It's just a way to celebrate seniors. This year, there's adding a couple new programs in light of COVID, which are increasing the amount a little bit. Considering we did not even do a 100 Days of Senior last year, I think that's an appropriate thing to do, but I also might be a little biased because I'm also a senior. So.
All right, that ends discussion. So we will go ahead and vote on that. Please use the voting features, check mark for yes and X, the red X for no. All right, voting passes. We will now move on to item number 7, general discussion. Student Conduct Board is the first discussion point. I will let Jorge take that over.
So, Student Conduct Board. So we were reached out by Luke that all the members, I believe, have not attended or haven't responded to their email on Student Conduct Board. So I was here asking of you guys if you think we should, us ourselves reach out to them and see what's the deal, or if they have other commitments and they can't fulfill them, or if we should go ahead and potentially nominate a whole nother student conduct board. So yes, thoughts, guys. Chase, call on that.
Yeah, sorry, Scott, you were the first to have your hand up. Go ahead.
I think there might be an issue with the emails actually ending up in the inboxes for Student Conduct Board. I know a few of my friends are on the Student Conduct Board, and they have mentioned that they have not received an email from Luke Bohonic. So it might just be an issue with sending it to the wrong list or something like that.
All right, thanks. Will, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say we should probably reach out to them to see if their schedule changes or if they're still interested in being on the conduct board. And then if they say no, we can nominate some people.
Okay. And he did say, I'm sure he's unaware of that, but it looks like there's still a chance that some of the people on that conduct board are no longer interested or have other priorities in check. So if we could just get a couple nominations to relay back to him just in case, because a lot of the discussion around that table is time sensitive. So if we could just get a couple nominations of great students who you think would do well in that position, go ahead and raise your hand and we can get them written in the minutes and distributed back to Luke Bohonic. So if anyone has any ideas, raise your hand. Go ahead, Corey.
Not a recommendation for a person. Quick question. None of us can do it, can we?
I don't think so. Rich or Jorge, do you have any, or Elliot maybe, if you guys have any insight on that?
I think they would like to avoid having students on SGA do it, and just to kind of get some other folks. So, but I guess if it's a good question to ask to see, depending upon where they are in their need for people.
I believe it is actually against our Constitution to do it. So that might be a hard no instead of a soft no.
Okay, that clears that up. Scott, do you still have your hand raised?
I just raised it again. I have a nomination.
Okay.
Do I state the name and then class? Like, how much information do you need?
You can just go ahead and say their name. It's not really a nomination, but more of a suggestion, just because with that
Okay.
mishap, there might still be something else that has to go on. But yeah, go ahead and say their name.
All right. I'll suggest Andrew Flory.
Okay. Any others? If we could have two or three total, that'd be a good number to relay back to Luke. Go ahead, Skylar.
I apologize. Don't they go by Flory?
That depends on the situation. I know them very well.
Okay.
Okay. It looks like I'll write this down in the minutes. If you could spell that name, Scott or Skylar, whoever.
I'll text you. I'll DM it to you.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. It looks like that's the last thing in general discussion. So we will move on to item number 8, announcements. Any announcements? Go ahead, Corey.
So mine, I don't know how to, hold on. There we go. So mine is like a question in terms of like us moving into yellow phase. I know that there are repercussions for students not complying with the mask mandate on campus. What about faculty and staff? Like if they're not at all wearing masks, I need advice, and where do I go with that information?
Corey, can I ask where they're not wearing masks and when you've seen them? Like,
can I type it?
Yes, you can type it. Or if you want to email me separately.
Okay.
If they are not wearing masks on campus and they are in like a classroom or in a building or someplace else, and it's not an approved face covering. So I know that like when they're teaching, they've been approved to have the shield. But after that, they have to wear a mask. But if otherwise, they're expected to wear a mask.
Yeah, I'm referencing like nothing, like absolutely barefaced.
I would address that with either Heidi or Luke. That's who I would bring it up with, but they should be wearing face covering because they are required by everybody, including employees on campus. And just so
Thank
you know,
you.
they can be in their office, but they can be in their office without their mask, as long as they're in there by themselves.
Okay, thank you.
Corey, I think in discussion with Heidi and John Wool would probably be the first two people to reach out to. Okay, let's see who's next. Evan, go ahead.
So my announcement is if you're in a quarantine room, you should be quarantining and not leaving your room. So don't leave your room.
Thanks, Evan. Jordan, go ahead.
All right, so I'm gonna do my whole spiel, but on some sad news, I came into contact with someone who was in contact with someone that tested positive for COVID. Katie Lee described it as like second degree kind of deal. So I've been self-isolating. I am not going to classes for the remainder of the week, just so that way I don't interact with anybody. But if I potentially get COVID, I don't want to give it to anybody else and cause an outbreak and cause us to go from yellow zone to orange zone. But I will say this, good job to everyone to get down to yellow zone. Like, this was a lot quicker than it was last semester. But again, 6 feet apart, wear masks, wash your hands, use hand sanitizer, do all of that fun stuff. I don't know what else to say, but just keep up the good work and like, let's just keep going with this. And if you know somebody or yourself can get a vaccine, go get the vaccine, increase our herd immunity potentially.
Thanks, Jordan. Pascazi, go ahead.
Since the school still hasn't said it yet, I'll go ahead and say it. Happy Black History Month, everyone. Make sure you are doing everything you can to educate yourself and others around you, because, you know, Black lives still matter, and they will forever matter. So just wanted to point out that even though our college hasn't said it, and no one else brought it up, but I care deeply about every Black person on this campus, and your life matters and our history does too. So have a fantastic Black History Month.
Thank you, Pascazi. Anything else, anyone? All right, that brings us to our last item of business, item number 9, adjournment. This meeting stands adjourned. We will meet next Wednesday. Everyone have a great night. Thanks.